All right, I'm here to talk about week two picks. Now, it's kind of surprising that we are already in week two. I mean, week one flew by. It was a lot of fun. Football was amazing. I've totally forgot, if there were fans or not. I really didn't care. Yes, the fans do add excitement and noise, but you can always pump up crowd noise and all that kind of stuff. So let me tell you what teams I think are going to win. And some of them I am very, very confused about. Just because some of them I feel like it's gonna be very close, and some of them I feel like it's gonna be blowouts. So, I'm gonna start off with Thursday night because that's tomorrow. Yes, football starts really quick. Actually, people tell me if I like Thursday night football, and I'll tell you the truth. I really hate Thursday night football. Why? Because they give us the shitty games. But hey, it's football and it's earlier, so I guess that's good. So I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. I think that they're gonna come back in this game. Um, the Cincinnati Bengals were deflated in that game loss. People keep making fun of the Browns, and deservedly so. They played terribly. Nothing to take away from that. But they played probably one of the best teams in the NFL. Behind the Chiefs is the Ravens, or some people could say the Ravens are the best team. In my opinion, the Ravens are one of the best teams in the NFL, and they destroyed the Browns. And Lamar Jackson looked good again, so it didn't seem like it was just a fluke. And now let's go on to the next game: Buffalo versus Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. They're just better in the defensive side. Stephon Diggs on the offensive side, John Brown. They have some offensive weapons too. Miami still starting Ryan Fitzpatrick. Did not play particularly well last week, and the Bills defense is better. Even though this game is in Miami, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think Miami, eventually when they start Tua and maybe later down the road, they always seem to get better later in the season rather than before. This game is the most toughest game for me to go with. Pittsburgh or Denver. See, the thing is I know a lot of Denver Broncos fans, and I want to pick Denver for them. But when I saw from Pittsburgh against the Giants, I just can't do it, and I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers. I think Ben Roethlisberger is better than Drew Lock. Juju looked better with Ben Roethlisberger. The defense of Pittsburgh kicked the Giants' butt, and will probably do the same thing with Denver. And they don't have everybody healthy. They may get Sutton back, but that's not going to be enough. And they're also missing Boye. They're missing a lot of pieces. If they were fully healthy, this would be a lot closer. Maybe I would pick Denver. And I would not be surprised if Denver wins this game. But I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers in that one. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Tennessee Titans. Now, this one is tougher than advertised. Jacksonville is not as bad as everybody said, and I've been saying from the beginning, Minshew is not that bad of a quarterback. I'm going to have to go with the Tennessee Titans, though. I just think Derrick Henry is going to run all over that team. The Colts should have won that game. They blew it. Jacksonville played really, really well. And Minshew is a decent quarterback, a pretty good quarterback, in my opinion. I think this game will be close. But Tennessee's kicker, Gostkowski, cannot miss those kicks. If he does, they will lose. And I'm going to pick the Tennessee Titans in this one. Kansas City, I'm going to pick over the Chiefs. The reason is because Patrick Mahomes, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they just have a better team all the way around, while the Chargers are still trying to figure out, should Tyrod Taylor be the starter? And they didn't play that well against the Bengals, and actually got lucky to beat that team. I did pick the Chargers to win last week, so I was very happy that they did. But I myself felt like I was lucky, and the Bengals should have won that game if AJ Green did not push off. Baltimore against Houston. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Houston to me is going to be one of the most disappointing teams this year. We saw how lackluster their offense was without DeAndre Hopkins, and how the Cardinals used DeAndre Hopkins, and the Cardinals did a better job. I think using DeAndre Hopkins than Houston ever did, and they don't even have him anymore. Baltimore has Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown. They have a better offense. Their defense with Calais Campbell, Patrick Queen. They have all these great players on the defensive side and on the offensive side. And I just think, Baltimore is going to win that one. They're the best team in the NFL, and the way they beat the Browns kind of showed that. I don't think the Browns are that bad. I don't think they're good, but I don't think they're particularly that bad. Minnesota versus the Colts. This one is tricky. But I'm going to lean towards Minnesota. I think Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen find a way to win. But this one will be one that is very close. And I think they win this one by a field goal. The 49ers versus the Jets. I really want to pick the Jets, but I don't know when I'll be able to pick this team. The 49ers are a better team offensively, defensively, and that is the reason why I'm going to go with them. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo, but I do think they're better than the Jets. And they kind of disappointed me last week because I picked them to beat Arizona, but Arizona came out and surprised a lot of people. And I think that team is a lot better than some people give them credit. The reason that people don't like them is because they are overhyped. But, they showed last week that, they could play. If they could keep playing at that level, the Arizona Cardinals will be a really good team. San Francisco will get the win against the Jets. The Jets just look dysfunctional. I think they may be one of the worst teams this year. But they always find a way to win 5 or 6 games somehow. So now we got the hardest game for me. Patriots versus Seattle Seahawks. I loved what the Patriots defense did last week. They stopped the Dolphins and made sure they could not score. But I'm actually going to go with the Seattle Seahawks by a field goal. This game, to me, is another really close game. Seattle is going to win because it's in Seattle. And I think Russell Wilson is going to outplay Cam Newton by a little bit. Also, I was not very impressed with the offense of New England. I was very impressed with the defense of New England. So that's what I'm going to go with Seattle Seahawks. Now we go Saints versus the Raiders. This one is tough because the Saints did not look particularly good. But the Raiders just ran all over the Panthers, which they will not be able to do against the Saints. The Saints have a pretty good defense. They showed it last week. Their offense was anemic last week, and they're going to miss Michael Thomas. And this is a Monday night game. So I'm still going to go with the Saints. I just don't believe the Raiders have enough yet. But eventually, this team is getting better and better every year, and I do like the way they're building this team. This one is going to seem like the most biased pick I'm going to do, but I'm going to go with the Giants over the Bears. I just trust Daniel Jones more than Trubisky. Everybody wants to get on Daniel Jones. Yeah, he didn't have an amazing week last week, but he still played pretty well. That one interception was definitely his fault. The other one, TJ Watt just made a great play. He should have thrown the second one away. Not game-winning, but a long drive, and the Giants didn't come up with any points, and they really need to. And this team is just really disappointing in week 1, but I figured they were going to lose, and that's why I picked against them, because I tell you how it is, and I don't play favorites. Carolina versus Tampa Bay. I am going to go with, this one's tough, just kidding. Tampa Bay is going to win this. Brady's going to come back and prove everybody he can still play and he can still be good. The only question for me is Chris Godwin going to play? Is Mike Evans going to play? Because both of them are hurt. Chris Godwin is in concussion protocol. And I'm hoping Mike Evans can play because I have him in fantasy. And yeah, I also have Chris Godwin, so I hope he can play. But I don't know if he's going to play or not. There's no update. But they just have more offensively than Carolina. And even on the defensive side. And they could have beat the Saints. They started off hot in the beginning and then didn't do anything after. Atlanta versus the Dallas Cowboys. This one is another tough one, but I did not like how Atlanta's defense played at all last week, and I really do think, and I hate to pick this team again, they let me down last week, but I'll pick them again. Hopefully they don't let me down. Well, I mean, if they do, they do. I'll be happy either way. What am I saying? But the Cowboys are going to beat Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons' defense is anemic. It's not looking good. And then at the end of this, I'm going to go through all of the over-under and if I went with the favorites or not. Right now, I have not even looked at who are the favorites and who are not the favorites. Okay, everybody wants to shit on the Eagles for losing to Washington. And even I want to. And I think the Rams' defense is really good. Like, they were really good against the Cowboys. Just because Carson Wentz lost to Washington football team does not mean the same thing will happen here. This is in Philly, and LA has to travel to Philly. Remember that. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. Yes, I know they lost to Washington football team. And people are this and that. But Washington football team actually has a pretty good defense that I didn't know about. and Carson Wentz made mistakes that he probably will learn from. And I think the Rams have a really good defense, and I hate picking against them, but I am one more time. And if the Eagles don't do it, then wow, the Rams are a lot better than I thought, and I will start picking them more and more if they start winning games and prove me wrong. Now, Detroit versus Green Bay. I'm going with Green Bay. Not going with Detroit. I went with Detroit last week, and they let me down. They had the game in their hands, and they should have won, but they always seem to choke the game away. So, yes, I'm going to go with Green Bay Packers over Detroit. Aaron Rodgers over Matthew Stafford. Devontae Adams. They just have so much on the offensive side. I saw what they did to the Vikings, and now I don't know if I feel safe picking the Vikings to win that division. I think Green Bay may repeat again because they looked really good. And I know it's just 1 week, but it was against the Minnesota defense that I thought was going to be better. Now, the last game we come down to is Arizona versus the Washington football team. I will go with Arizona Cardinals. They're at home. They looked pretty good last week. If the Cardinals start off 2-0, that'd be really good for them. They need to keep on winning if they want a chance to take the division or anything like that. Kyler Murray, I like over Dwayne Haskins. Kenyon Drake is good. He's better running back than whoever they have there. DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to stop him on the Washington football team? I do think the Washington football team's defense will be good, and I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Actually, be a closer game than most people think. But now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do this for all my picks from now on. I did not look at any of the over and unders. I'm going to look at them now. So, Cleveland Browns, I got it correct. They are a 6-point favorite. So, me going with them makes sense there. Let me look at the Miami Dolphins. And so, Buffalo is the favorite there too. So, I took the favorite again. 6-point favorite. And I feel pretty good about some of the picks because a lot of them are leaning towards what I picked. I don't like to always pick that. I always like to pick upsets here and there. I picked the Steelers, and yeah, the Steelers are 7-point favorite over Denver. So, I mean, that sounds about right to me too. The Tennessee Titans, I picked over Jacksonville Jaguars, a 9-point favorite. I think that spread is way too high. I think this will be a 7-point victory, not a 9-point victory for Tennessee. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. I know I'm going to be right on that one. And yep, a 9-point favorite for Kansas City Chiefs. That sounds about right. Their offense is just way too much for the Chargers to handle. Now, let me go to the Baltimore Ravens against the Texans. I picked the Ravens. Yep, Ravens are a 7-point favorite. So far, I picked all the favorites except in this next game where I picked Minnesota, and Vegas thinks that the Colts should be a 3-point favorite. And they usually do that when the team is at home and is very close and have no idea. So, technically, I'm not entirely wrong about this, but I don't feel good picking against Vegas. But I did pick against Vegas in this one. So, that is my upset. Minnesota right there. The 49ers over the Jets. 7-point favorite is San Francisco 49ers. So, I did a good job picking them over the Jets. I think it should be 9-point or 10-point favorites. I don't know how it's only 7. I know their offense didn't look good, but their defense is going to be better. And they also picked up Mohamed Sanu, the 49ers, so I think that's going to help their offensive, their receivers that they're missing. The Seattle Seahawks and Patriots, I got this one right. Oh, my God. Patriots are underdogs. Seattle is the favorite by 4 points, and I picked Seattle. And that's what I figure. It'll be like a field goal. I think it's a 3-point victory for Seattle. This won't be that high scoring of a game, be a defensive battle, but I think Seattle can beat the Patriots here. Saints versus the Raiders. I picked the Saints, and the Saints are a 6-point favorite, even without Michael Thomas, so I feel good about that one. I bet this one, they picked the Bears for 5.5 favorites, so another, just another upset here, where I think the Giants are going to win. And then after that, it's Tampa Bay versus Carolina Panthers. I picked Tampa Bay, and yep, Tampa Bay is an 8.5 favorite, so I picked the favorite again. So it seems like I only didn't pick the favorite twice here. So far, Dallas over Atlanta. Yep, Dallas is the favorite, 4.5. They usually give you a 3-point spread. If you're at home, they got 3 and a little bit more, just because I think their defense is better than Atlanta's. The offense, I will say the Atlanta offense is scary, but their defense is so bad that their offense will not be able to carry them in this game, and I hate to see Atlanta go down 0-2. For some reason, I really like Atlanta always. For some year, I just think they're a cool team. I like the Dirty Birds and all that kind of stuff. Now we get to the Rams and Eagles. I picked the Rams. I picked the Eagles, and I don't know what PK means, but I guess it means that it is even. They don't know who's gonna win that game. If anybody knows what PK is, let me know in the comments below. And then Green Bay versus Detroit. I'm pretty sure I got that one correct. I'm going just according to Vegas. 6-point favorite against the Detroit Lions. Yes, I am correct on that. And then the Cardinals, the last one, 7-point favorite against the Washington football team, which sounds about right. I think they'll win by 7 points. So yeah, that is what it is. It is pretty much two teams that I picked against Vegas. So I will let you guys know how I did. You can look back at my week 1 predictions to show which ones I got wrong. I think I got like 4 or 5 wrong in week 1, but I will monitor this and tell you in week 3 how many I got right in week 2. So in the comments below, tell me your thoughts. Tell me which one do you think was a stupid pick, was not a good pick, and tell me which one you liked, and tell me your picks in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you around the bend in the next live stream and video. And everybody, have a good night. Thank you for watching, and peace out.